Shiny Jasmine. My topic is flipped classroom. First, we will see about what is meant by flipped classroom. A flipped classroom is a type of blended learning where students are introduced to content at home and practice it at school. By this flipped classroom, we can assign homework and projects to the students that they can do it independently at their home. Then the next one is what is a flipped classroom? A flipped classroom is a teaching strategy that reverses the traditional learning environment by delivering instructional content outside of the classroom. It moves activities like projects, assignment, homeworks, etc. into the classroom. Then the flipped classroom has four pillars. Here, each letter of flipped classroom represents its four pillars. The first one is a flexible environment. In the flipped classroom, the teacher needs to create a flexible learning environment by providing opportunity for the students to choose when and where they want to learn. Then the second one is learning culture. Flipped classroom changes the traditional learning culture into a learning centered class. Then class timing is shifted to discuss more in depth about each topic. Then the third one is intentional content. Here the teacher determine what they need to teach and what materials should handle on their own. Teacher use intentional content to maximize the class time in order to adopt learner-centered activity or the oriented classes. Then the fourth one is a professional educator. New instructors who can observe, provide timely feedback continuously, assess work and help the students. Here the role of the education is more important in flipped classroom than the traditional one. Then the traditional classroom versus flipped classroom. Before the classes in traditional classroom, we don't do anything, but in the flipped classrooms, students do reading or watch lecture prior to class. Then the next one is during classes. In traditional classroom, students watch a lecture given by the professor. In flipped classroom, range of activities, discussions or quizzes lead by the professor, but centered on students to consolidate understanding. After the classes in traditional classroom, students consolidate understanding. Then in flipped classroom, students further consolidate understanding and prepare for the next class. Um, then how to implement a flipped classroom? First we have to plan. Then we have to figure out the lesson that we are going to flip. Then we have to frame the learning outcome and the lesson plan. Then the second one is record. Um, Instead of teaching the lesson in person, we can make videos, a screencast work. We have to make sure that it contains all the elements that we have mentioned in the classroom. Then the next one is share. We have to share the videos to the students. It should be engaging and clear. Then explaining the video content will be carefully discussed in the classroom. Then we have to change. Now the students have viewed our lessons that we have prepared to go more in depth than ever before. Then a group. An effective way to discuss the topic is to separate into groups where students are given a task to perform, like we are writing a poem, a play, making a video, etc. Then regroup, get the class back together to share the individuals group work with everyone, ask questions, dive deeper than ever before. Then the advantages, here the students take ownership for their learning. It promotes student centered learning and collaboration. Lessons and content are more accessible. It emphasizes on cooperative learning. It gives more time to explore the content. It can be more effective. Then the disadvantages are it divides students digitally. The technology requires computers, smart gadgets, internet, etc. There are some technical challenges also. It increases time spent by the students on computer screens. which may irritate their eyes and cause some health issues. Then the conclusion. The flipped classroom is an exciting and enhancing model of instruction. This method of instruction puts the learning in the hands of the learner and asks the educator to facilitate the learning process. And these are my references. Thank you.